You like horror movies? Well, then you came to the right place, because today we're going to be discussing the upcoming film, The Demonatrix. But we are not going to be doing it alone. Well, I am not going to be doing it alone, because joining me today is the film's creator and star, Aurelio Voltaire. He was kind enough to offer his time to talk to me about his film. According to IMDb, a dominatrix unwittingly summons an incubus demon and joins forces with the priest to defeat it. If you like what I do, then consider subscribing and let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the premise of this film? Doesn't it sound great? Let's watch. Hello everybody, I've had the pleasure to meet Aurelio Voltaire. We're going to be talking a little bit about his upcoming film. Thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate it a whole lot.
My pleasure.
Yeah. As you know, we discussed horror movies and monster movies and all that kind of stuff like that. So I said, well, better thing than to discuss this new film coming up, The Demonatrix.
The Demonatrix.
Yeah. And so, I guess tell me, what made you want to make this movie?
Well, The Demonatrix tells the story of a Mexican priest, played by me in the film, who comes to the aid of his very, very good friend and neighbor, a dominatrix, when she unwittingly summons an incubus demon. And it's a crazy premise, but it was born from an actual situation. Many years ago, when I was a single man, I had a girlfriend who was a dominatrix, and she lived in this house that was directly across the street from a Catholic church. And every time I would see that Catholic church, I would just think the juxtaposition of these two places were so interesting. This place that was basically a house of domination, directly across the street from a place that was a place of worship.
Yeah.
And one day I think I just wondered to myself, wouldn't it be interesting if her mail was accidentally sent over there? And the priest got the mail and thought, oh, this is my neighbor's, let me go across the street and bring it to her. And he walked inside and like, oh my, what's this, And that really is what sparked this, the concept for The Demonatrix. But, I've been a lifelong monster fan. I was a monster kid growing up, and I made stop motion films all through my childhood. So it's been a lifelong dream to make a feature-length horror film, and at long last it has happened.
Yeah, definitely check it out when it comes out. I know I will be, And I guess my next question is, what was the most challenging thing about making this film?
Well, first of all, directing a feature film, directing your first feature already is such an insane undertaking. But starring in the film as well as directing it definitely had to have been probably one of the least wise choices I made, because there's so much pressure trying to know what you're going to do on set as a director. And then on top of that, I am, memorizing lines the night before. So, there's so much to do as a director. You're thinking about plotting, you're thinking about schedule, like what are the shots that we're going to shoot in which order. You're thinking about wardrobe, you're thinking about a million different things. And then on top of that, you're going to be in front of the camera if you're also starring in the film. So I would literally be in my hotel room in Seattle trying to organize what was going to happen the next day, while at the same time trying to learn these huge blocks of lines, So it was very, very, very challenging, but ultimately at the end of the day, very rewarding.
So what was the most memorable thing about making the film?
There's a lot of very memorable things about making this film, but certainly the cast, getting to work with Hannah Fierman from the original VHS, who was a surprise every single day. She was just so amazing. And her character is so multifaceted, she's a dominatrix, so you expect that kind of domineering quality from her. But as the film progresses, she becomes more and more vulnerable as this demon is sort of infesting her life. So she becomes more vulnerable, and she just nailed that as well. And the parts of the film that had terror involved, like you really felt like this visceral terror from her. So she was just so multifaceted, and I just remember standing there, because I am on camera with her a lot of the time, and I'm looking, like marveling at her ability as an actor. So that was really memorable. Of course, getting to direct Doug Bradley, Pinhead from Hellraiser, he's in that film as well, and being on set with him, is not something I'm going to forget anytime soon. My very first feature film, and here I am, working with a legend of horror, so that was incredible. And then, our monster was made by Norman Cabrera, who did work for Guillermo del Toro on various projects, including the Hellboy monsters. And inside of our monster suit is Gothic legend Ogre from the band Skinny Puppy.
Oh, okay.
And those people who are not, industrial music fans may know him as Pavi from Repo the Genetic Opera.
Yeah.
And I'd never met him before. Somehow, like I'm a goth singer, he's a goth singer. We've known about each other for decades, but we had never met. And when he came on set at meeting, he was so gracious and so incredibly kind and generous and humble and down to earth. And it was really just like one of those moments where I really, honest to God, felt like I'm meeting this Gothic legend, and he's just such a down-to-earth, regular, normal guy. And so there's a lot to remember and a lot to cherish about this production.
That's very good to hear. Yeah, and well, you're a Gothic legend yourself. So.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
Yeah. And when does it come out, and where can we see it?
Well, principal photography is finished, so the majority of the film has been filmed. We have one flashback scene we need to shoot in Mexico, and that might happen in December.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's a lot of editing and post-production and special effects and score writing that needs to happen. And I'm really, really, really hoping that all of that will be done by the early 2025. My hope and my goal is that this film will be screening in film festivals by the fall of 2025.
Okay.
And then you just cross your fingers and you hope that a distributor sees it and likes it and wants to put it out and offers you a deal. So, the answer to the $1 million question, which is where can I see it? That's going to ultimately depend on who shows interest in the film, and does it end up on Netflix? Does it end up on Amazon? Does it end up on my own YouTube channel? These are the questions that we will not have answers to until the film is finished and it's playing in film festivals.
Okay. Well, when there's ever any update, I will definitely put it in the link below the video, and be sure to check it out. For real, check it out, because I didn't think I would be able to do an interview with the great Voltaire today, but he was so kind to do it. And so it's like, please show him appreciation by checking out the film, going to his YouTube channel, and just saying, thanks for all your everything you do in the Gothic world and everything. So,
thank you. And while you wait for the Demonatrix to come out, please come and watch my goofy YouTube show, Gothic Homemaking.
Oh yeah.
It's on YouTube right here at a channel called the Lair of Voltaire. We'll see you there.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate
it. My pleasure.
it.
Thank you.
I'm lying through my teeth. Your tears are all the company I need.
Yeah, what fun that was. Y gracias, Voltaire, for volunteering your time for little old me. When the film comes out, I will update the description below so you may find it. Also, go check out his YouTube channel and his music online. His show, Gothic Homemaking, has been useful in transforming my lair from the mundane to the macabre. And if that's your thing too, you will also enjoy it. Te lo garantizo. Thanks again for watching and supporting the channel. Subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to support the channel even more, visit me on Patreon. Well, that's it for now. Adios.